You know, cancer, it's a word we've all heard, and maybe it even hits close to home for some of us. It can feel really heavy, right? But what if we could trade some of that fear for knowledge, for power? That's what we're going to do today, with a little help from the FAJIM Medicare Foundation. Let's get right into it.
So, first things first, we hear the word cancer all the time, but what is it really? Like, what's actually happening inside the body? Okay, think of it like this. Our bodies are made of trillions of cells, and most of the time, they follow a really strict set of rules. They grow when they're supposed to, divide, and then they know when it's time to go. It's all very organized. But with cancer, some of those cells get their instructions, well, scrambled. Their DNA gets damaged, and they basically just start ignoring the rules. They just multiply and multiply, completely out of control. And that is what cancer is.
Right. So the big question is, why do these cells go rogue? What makes them break the rules? Well, it's complicated, and some things are just out of our hands. But there are definitely factors that can raise the chances or the risk. Let's look at a few of the big ones for some common cancers.
For breast and prostate cancer, for example, some of the risks are things you just can't change. You know, like your age or your family history. But look at this. A lot of these are tied to lifestyle. Things like diet, weight, that's where you start to see you have a bit more say in the matter.
And it's pretty much the same deal when you look at cervical and colorectal cancer. Lifestyle choices, yeah, they pop up again. Smoking, alcohol, what we eat. But you also see things like certain infections on the list. It just goes to show how everything in our health is connected, doesn't it?
Okay, but here's the most important part of this whole conversation. Seeing a list of risks can be a little intimidating. But please hear this. Risk is not destiny. It's not a guarantee. And that idea is a complete game changer because it leads us right to the part where you have the power.
That's right. Prevention is your power. This is where you get in the driver's seat. So many of these risks to be lowered just by making some simple, proactive choices in your daily life.
And the best part? It's not about being perfect. It's not about suddenly running a marathon or eating only salads. Nope. It's about small things. Watching what you eat. Just adding a few more veggies. Moving your body a little more each day. These little things, they really add up. Think of it like you're building up your body's defenses, one good choice at a time. All right, so prevention is huge. But what's the next most powerful tool we have in our corner? It's time. Seriously, finding cancer early, it can change everything. So, how do we find it early? Well, there are basically two ways. The first is being proactive with screenings. These are tests like mammograms or pap smears that can find things before you'd ever feel a symptom. The second way? It's you. It's about knowing your own body and paying attention. If something feels off, a lump, a weird mole, just not feeling right, you gotta speak up. And you know, if something is found, it's so important to remember this. We have more ways to treat cancer now than ever before. The science has come such a long way. I mean, look at the options. There's surgery and radiation that can target a specific area. There's chemotherapy that works through your whole body. And then there's this incredible new stuff like immunotherapy, which literally helps your own immune system fight the cancer. The point is, there are so many different paths, and doctors figure out the best one for each person. So if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Be proactive. That's it. Talk to your doctor. Get your regular checkups. And listen to your body. Honestly, it's the most powerful thing you can do for your health, period. Because at the end of the day, remember this, knowledge is power. Prevention is something you can do, and nobody has to face this alone. When we work on this together, hand in hand, that's where the real hope is.